Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriye Nashtavrayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 70, the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his youth, text 227 onwards. एक दिन श्रीवासेर मंदिरे गोसाई नित्यानंद संग नित्य करे दुई भाई. One day the two brothers, Lord Nityanand Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, were dancing in the holy house of Srivas Thakur. श्रीवास पुत्रेर ताहा हैला परलो तबु श्रीवासेर चित्ते न जन्मिला शोक. At that time, a calamity took place. Srivas Thakur's son died in the house, in the inside, because they were doing the kirtan outside in the angan. Yet Srivas Thakur was not at all sorry. मृत पुत्र मुखे कैला ज्ञाने कथा आपने दुई भाई हैला श्रीवास नंदन. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu caused the dead son to speak about knowledge, and then the two brothers personally became the sons of Srivas Thakur. This incident is described as follows by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrit Pravaha Bhashya. One night, while Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing with his devotees at the house of Srivas Thakur, one of Srivas Thakur's sons, who was suffering from some disease, died. Srivas Thakur was so patient, however, that he did not allow anyone to express sorrow by crying, for he did not want the kirtan going on at his house to be disturbed. Thus kirtan continued without a sound of lamentation. But when the kirtan was over, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who could understand the incident, declared there must have been some calamity in this house. When he was then informed about the death of Srivas Thakur's son, he expressed his regret, saying, "Why was this news not given to me before?" He went to the place where the son was lying dead and asked him, "My dear boy, why are you leaving the house of Srivas Thakur?" The dead son immediately replied, "I was living in this house as long as I was destined to live here. Now that the time is over, I am going elsewhere, according to your direction. I am your eternal servant, a dependent living being. I must act only according to your desire. Beyond your desire, I cannot do anything. I have no such power." Hearing these words of the dead son, all the members of Srivas Thakur's family received transcendental knowledge. Thus, there was no cause for lamentation. So, can you imagine? Srivas Thakur's son died in the house, and that time Kirtan was going on. Mahaprabhu was dancing, Nityanand Prabhu was dancing, and inside, Srivas Thakur went inside the house and told all the ladies, if a single sound comes out of your mouth and Mahaprabhu's dancing is stopped, I'll commit suicide. I'll fall in Ganges. I'll drown myself in the Ganges. So nobody cried. And when after a while Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was saying, "I'm not feeling that ecstasy in kirtan. Something wrong must have happened." So the devotees, Nityanand Prabhu didn't know, or all of the devotees knew somehow. So they said, "Well, his son died, but he was hiding this news from you so that your kirtan is not disturbed." So as we read, Mahaprabhu went, he saw the dead body of the boy, and he put his hand on his heart and brought him back to life. And this is what he said, "Whose son? I'm just a living entity, lived in this house and this body for the time you're destined, and now I'm leaving." And when Mahaprabhu saw this mood of Srivas Thakur, that he didn't want Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstasy to be disturbed, while his own son had died. He tolerated it so much. Mahaprabhu said, you all have so much of love for me. How am I gonna leave you? And then afterwards, he left. In the morning, he left for his house. Only Nityanand Prabhu understood the meaning of this verse. Nobody understood. Why is he talking about leaving? What is he talking? Why? And then Nityanand Prabhu said, Mahaprabhu is now going to take sannyas. It's not going to be too far, too long that he's going to take sannyas. But anyway, Prabhupada writes, when someone dies, he accepts another body. Therefore, sober persons do not lament. After the discourse between the dead boy and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, funeral ceremonies were performed, and Lord Chaitanya assured Srivas Thakur, you have lost one son, but Nityanand Prabhu and I are your eternal sons. We shall never be able to give up your company. This is an instance of a transcendental relationship with Krishna. We have eternal transcendental relationship with Krishna as his servants, friends, fathers, sons, or conjugal lovers. When the same relationships are pervertly reflected in this material world, we have relationships as the sons, fathers, friends, lovers, masters, or servants of others. But all these relationships are subject to termination within a definite period. If we revive our relationship with Krishna, however, by the grace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our eternal relationship will never break to cause our lamentation. So that is what we have to work on, our eternal relationship, which is with Krishna, nobody else. But forgetting that, and we create relationships here in the material world for this lifetime. And sooner or later, everybody leaves. Either we leave our body, leaving all those relatives back, and or some relative leaves, some relatives stay. And this just keeps on going. And it causes so much of lamentation, so much of distress, so much of anxiety in our hearts. But these are all temporary relationships anyway. But permanent relationship, if we develop with Krishna, then nothing like that. Tabeta karila sava bhakti varadan uchishta diya narayanira karila samman. Thereafter, the Lord charitably bestowed his benediction upon all his devotees. He gave the remnants of his food to Narayani, showing her special respect. Narayani was a niece of Srivas Thakur, and later she became the mother of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. In this connection, the Sahajiyas cite a malicious story that after eating the remnants of Lord Chaitanya's food, Narayani became pregnant and gave birth to Vrindavan Das Thakur. The rascal Sahajiyas may manufacture such false statements, but no one should believe them because they are motivated by enmity against the Vaishnavas. So this is not how Narayani got pregnant. She grew up, she married somebody, and she gave birth to Vrindavan Das Thakur. But before that, two pastimes. So when Mahaprabhu said to Srivas Thakur that Nityanand Prabhu and I are your two sons, and we shall never give up your company. So Nityanand Prabhu, even sometimes he would just come to the house of Srivas Thakur when nobody is, only his wife, Malini, was there. And he would consider Malini as his mother. So one day Nityanand Prabhu came, and maybe this pastime will come later, I don't know, in Adi Lila. So one day Nityanand Prabhu came, and Malini was crying. Mother Malini was crying. Why was she crying? Because she was cleaning the puja thali and other paraphernalia that Srinivas Thakur would use every day. And one crow came and picked up the water pot that they use for puja and flew away. And she was crying that Srinivas Thakur has gone for bathing, Ganga bathing, and when he comes back, if he doesn't see the water pot, he will be very angry. Lord's worship. And she was like, the crow has taken, I don't know where he has gone, do something. So Nityanand Prabhu just looked in the sky, in the direction probably where the crow was gone. He said, "Oh crow, bring that water pot back." And immediately the crow came back with the water pot. So Mali was very surprised, but then she said, "What's so difficult for you? You and like Krishna, you are Balram, you and Krishna went and brought the dead son of Sandipani Muni back. So what's a big deal for you to tell a crow to bring the water pot back?" So these were Nityanand Prabhu's pastimes. And this pastime of Mahaprabhu giving his remnants to Narayani, remnants of his food to Narayani. Maybe he gave more than once, because once what had happened, Mahaprabhu came to the house of Srinivas Thakur. And Srinivas Thakur was very disturbed, sad. And Mahaprabhu said, "What happened?" Srinivas Thakur, first he didn't want to tell Mahaprabhu, but then later he told that all these Navadvipasis, they are saying that, all means those who didn't believe in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were saying that, oh, you are letting this Nimai do Sankirtan in your house, and Kazi and his soldiers are going to come. We have seen them on the boat, and they are going to come and they're going to destroy your house and burn everything down, and they're going to throw the house in the Ganges, whatever is left over. They're going to kill everybody, all of you, and because of you, we will be also punished. So Mahaprabhu said, "Are you afraid of these soldiers, these puny soldiers?" He said, "If you want, I can go and sit on that boat and talk to those soldiers and their general, and ask them, can you chant the name of Allah and make all these animals chant and dance?" And I know they cannot, and I know, but if I tell the animals to chant and dance, they will start dancing. But Srinivas Thakur was still not, he's convinced, of his sadness didn't go away. And Mahaprabhu said, you don't believe me? I'll give you proof. So he called Narayani. Narayani was little girl, 4 or 5 years old girl. He called Narayani. Narayani, come here. Narayani came. Mahaprabhu, I think he was chewing some betel nuts. So he took out betel nuts, put one in Narayani's mouth. And he said, Narayani, chant and dance. And immediately Narayani raised her hands and started chanting, dancing in the kirtan. She was singing, she was dancing in complete ecstasy. And then Srinivas Thakur was convinced that Mahaprabhu can do. So this was also one of the pastimes that happened by Mahaprabhu giving his remnants of food to Narayani. Shrivasera Vastrashinye Darajiyavana Prabhu Tare Nijaru Karaila Darasham. There was a tailor who was a meat eater. He was a Muslim, but was sewing garments for Srinivas Thakur. The Lord, being merciful to him, showed him his own form. And why was he merciful to him? Because he was serving a pure devotee. Even though he was taking his money for taking his fees, but still he was serving Srinivas Thakur. So Lord was very merciful on him. Dekinu bali haila paga, premi nritya kare haila Vaishnava aga. Saying, I have seen, and dancing in ecstatic love as though mad, he became a first-class Vaishnava. So there was a Muslim tailor near the house of Srinivas Thakur who used to sew the garments of the family. One day he was very pleased with the dancing of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Indeed, he was enchanted. The Lord, understanding his attitude, showed him his original form as Krishna. The tailor then began to dance, saying, I have seen, I have seen. He became absorbed in ecstatic love and began to dance with Lord Chaitanya. Thus he became one of the foremost Vaishnava adherents of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is his mercy, complete mercy. Aveshete Shrivase Prabhu Vanchita Magila, Shrivasa Kahe Vanchi Tomar Gopi Harinila. In ecstasy, the Lord asked Srivas Thakur to deliver his flute, but Srivas Thakur replied, your flute has been stolen away by the gopis. Shuni Prabhu Bala Bala Balena Aveshe, Shrivasa Varnena Vrindavan Lila Rase. Hearing this reply, the Lord said in ecstasy, go on talking, go on talking. Thus Srivas described the transcendental mellows of the pastimes of Shri Vrindavan. Prathamete Vrindavan Madhurya Varnila Shuniya Prabhur Chitte Ananda Vadila. In the beginning, Srivas Thakur described the transcendental sweetness of Vrindavan pastimes. Hearing this, the Lord felt great and increasing jubilation in his heart. So obviously, when somebody talks about Vrindavan pastimes, especially Srivas Thakur, how ecstasy Lord must be feeling. Tabe bala bala prabhu bale varavar puna puna kahe Srivas kariya vistar. Thereafter the Lord again and again asked him, speak on, speak on. The Srivas again and again described the pastimes of Vrindavan, vividly expanding them. Vanchi vande gopi garnir vane akarshan tasabara sange yache vana vihara. Srivas Thakur extensively explained how the gopis were attracted to the forests of Vrindavan by the vibration of Krishna's flute, and how they wandered together in the forest. Tahi madhya chaya ritu lila ravarna madhupaya rasotsva jalakeli kathan. Srivas Pandit narrated all the pastimes enacted during the 6 changing seasons. He described the drinking of honey, the celebration of the Rasa dance, and swimming in the Yamuna, and other such incidents. Bhale 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 Prabhu shunite ullasa, Shrivasa kahin tabe rasa raser vilasa. When the Lord, hearing with great pleasure, said, go on speaking, Srivas Thakur described the Ras Lila dance, which is filled with transcendental mellows. Kahite shunite aiche prata kala haila, Prabhu Shri Vaser Toshi Alingana Kai. As the Lord thus requested and Srivas Thakur spoke, the morning appeared, and the Lord embraced Srivas Thakur and satisfied him. Tabe Acharyera Ghare Kaila Krishna Leela Rukmini Swarup Prabhu Apane Haila. Thereafter, a dramatization of Krishna's pastimes was performed in the house of Sri Chandrasekhar Acharya. The Lord personally took the part of Rukmini, the foremost of Krishna's queens. So the Lord himself took the part of Rukmini. Kabu Durga Lakshmi Hai, Kabu Vachi Shakti, Khate Vasi Bhakta Gane, Dila Prema Bhakti. The Lord sometimes took the part of goddess Durga, Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, or the chief potency, Yog Maya. Sitting on a cart, he delivered love of Godhead to all the devotees present. एक दिन महाप्रभु नित्य अवसाने एक ब्राह्मणी आशी धरिला चरण. One day when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had finished his dancing, a woman, the wife of a Brahmin, came there and caught hold of his lotus feet. Charaner dhuli say laya var var, dekhiya prabhur dukh aila par. As she took the dust of his lotus feet again and again, the Lord became unlimitedly unhappy. So this holding of a great personality's lotus feet is certainly very good for the person who takes the dust. But this example of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's unhappiness indicates that a Vaishnava should not allow anyone to take dust from his feet. One who takes the dust of a great personality's lotus feet, transfers his sinful activities to that great personality. Unless the person whose dust is taken is very strong, he must suffer the sinful activities of the person who takes the dust. Therefore, ordinarily, it should not be allowed. Sometimes in big meetings, people come to take the same advantage by touching our feet. That's what Prabhupada is saying. On account of this, sometimes we have to suffer from some disease. As far as possible, no outsider should be allowed to touch one's feet to take dust from him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally showed this by his example, as explained in the next verse. Sai kshanin dhaya Prabhu Ganga te padila Nityananda Haridas Hari uthaila. Immediately he ran to the river Ganga and jumped in to counteract the sinful activities of that woman. Nityanand Prabhu and Haridas Thakur caught him and raised him from the river. So Mahaprabhu is actually playing the part of a devotee. So he is showing by his example. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is God himself, but he was playing the part of a preacher. Every preacher should know that being allowed to touch a Vaishnava's feet and take dust from it may be good for the person who takes it, but it's not good for the person who allows it to be taken. As far as possible, this practice should ordinarily be avoided. Only initiated disciples should be allowed to take this advantage, not others. Those who are full of sinful activities should generally be avoided. So this is how powerful it is to take dust of the lotus feet of any Vaishnava. So we transfer our sins to that Vaishnava. And moreover, it's not that by just touching the lotus feet of a devotee, it will be great benediction, but it will still not give us Krishna prem. For that, we have to work on our bhajan, on our sadhana. It definitely makes us progress more, but still, of course, and also the mood when we touch the lotus feet of any devotee, of any Vaishnava, should not be that, there should be a competition. Somewhere we read in the purport, Prabhupada mentioned that like there's a competition to take the dust of the lotus feet. That's not proper. There should be humility in our heart. There should be respect for that Vaishnava in our heart. Not in a playful mode, we try to touch somebody's lotus feet and create disturbance in his mind. I remember once I was sick, I was in a hospital, and devotee came to see me, and he started touching my feet. I said, "What are you doing? I'm sick already. You want me to get more sick? Why? You should know something." And moreover, I'm not somebody very advanced or somebody like that. So sometimes devotees just become very sentimental, emotional, and do these things instead of knowing the philosophy behind it. Like in the families, in India, it's a tradition. We touch the feet of our elders. And that's good. We should get the blessings from them. And they give the blessings. but the mood is different. And similarly, when we go see a Vaishnava, senior Vaishnava, so better to hear from him and try to follow the instructions. That is much better. Anyway, so we'll stop here, see anybody has any questions or comments.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisance. So, Prabhuji, when we touch feet, okay, for the Vaishnavas we should not, but now to anyone, like in family and everyone, we say that we should touch feet of elders and like that. So, in that way also, the sins are getting transferred or like that. बिकॉज इट इज सेड कि जिसको भी हम जिसके सामने हम झुकते हैं उसकी गुनाह हमारे अंदर आता है तो जैसे यहाँ पे लिखा है कि जो बंदा पैर छू रहा है उसको तो बेनिफिट होता है पर अगर उसी तरह कुछ लोग जो कि सिंफुल हैं उनके अगर आगे हम झुकते हैं तो उनके सिन हमारे अंदर आएंगे क्या फिर
नहीं 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 सिन नहीं आएंगे उसे कृपा आएगी क्योंकि वी आर
इवन
टेकिंग ए
इफ
लोअर
पर्सन
पोजीशन
सिंफुल
वी आर टेकिंग ए लोअर पोजीशन
ओके ओके अच्छा मतलब पैर छूना हमेशा हर तरीके से अच्छा है
हाँ हाँ but again our goal is to attain Krishna prem
करेक्ट करेक्ट
तो तो सिर्फ पैर छूने से काम नहीं चलेगा
नहीं चलेगा हाँ करेक्ट जैसे लोग बहुत बार ऐसा करते हैं कि बड़े बड़े मतलब महात्मा लोगों को देखकर सब उनके पैर की तरफ उनको टच करने की कोशिश करते हैं
या कोशिश करनी चाहिए छूने भी चाहिए बट द आइडिया इज वी शुड लर्न फ्रॉम दैट मान हाउ डू
करेक्ट करेक्ट
हाउ कैन आई मेक प्रोग्रेस
यस
नॉट कि मेरे पाप आप ले लो एंड सो आई कैन एंजॉय लाइफ दैट शुड
यस
नॉट बी द आइडिया
यस
और
तो प्रभु
और
जी
सिर्फ
मैंने
यस मत
नहीं प्रभु जी प्लीज कंटिन्यू
और
सॉरी
सिर्फ पैर छूने से कोई हमारी चैंटिंग तो अच्छी नहीं होने वाली
नहीं प्रभु जी
काम तो हमें ही करना पड़ेगा जैसे आई एम नॉट गोना टेक नेम समबडी फ्रॉम द क्लास व्हेन आई वाज इन दिल्ली शी सेड कि मेरी चैंटिंग नहीं ठीक हो रही है आपकी कृपा नहीं मिल रही मैंने कहा "हाँ, मेरे में ही कमी है आपकी चैंटिंग को अच्छी होनी मेरी कृपा नहीं है नहीं कमाल है और क्या है वी हैव टू वर्क ऑन आवर चैंटिंग आवरसेल्व्स
हम्म
ये अर्चना बता आप कुछ कह रहे थे
मैं ये बोल रही थी मैंने कहीं पे सुना है कि ये जो महाराज लोग होते हैं जैसे जो कथा वगैरह करते हैं नॉट वैष्णव्स दूसरे लोग जो आते हैं इनके तो दूर से लाइक लेडीज शुड नॉट टच देयर फीट और उनको दूर से
या
ही प्रणाम करना चाहिए
या लेडीज तो डेफिनेटली दे
लेडीज
शुड
दे शुड नॉट
या Of course, इसमें तो महाप्रभु he was playing the part of Rukmini and Lakshmi, and that's when
हाँ
she
हाँ हाँ हाँ
touched.
हाँ हाँ
But otherwise, after sannyas, Mahaprabhu's sannyas, you will see how strict he became.
कहीं पे कथा हो रही थी तो खत्म हुई और महाराज जी और देन ऑल लेडीज को ज्यादा रहता है ना पाँव छूने का तो थोड़ा सा वो बहुत ज्यादा भीड़ आ गई तो देन दे अनाउंस्ड रियली अनाउंस कि प्लीज स्टे अवे लाइक मतलब लेडीज शुड नॉट कम ऑन तो
उसमें मूड यही है ना कि मेरे पाप खत्म हो जाएं ताकि मैं एंजॉय कर
हाँ हाँ
सकूं
हाँ हाँ फिर वो एक को देख के ना
यस
सारी
प्रभु
लेडीज
जी
शुरू हो जाती हैं
हाँ but
पर ये
that's not
कितना
the right
गलत
mood.
सोच है ना प्रभु जी इन अ वे इट्स रॉन्ग मतलब
हाँ
ये शॉर्टकट लेना हुआ एक तरह से
Yeah, but shortcut है थोड़ी भक्ति में तो कोई शॉर्टकट है नहीं ऑलरेडी
है ही
महाप्रभु ने दे दिया ना चैंटिंग 16 और प्रभुपाद ने क्या दिया 16 राउंड्स
नहीं डाउन
अब
कर
इससे
दिया
ज्यादा शॉर्टकट और क्या चाहिए
यस प्रभु जी
प्रभु जी, हाँ,
प्रभु
आधों को
जी,
तो पता ही नहीं होगा कि हमको ये ऐसा पाँव छूने से ऐसा कुछ मिलेगा, तो जस्ट देखा देखी भी बहुत सारे लोग करते हैं।
बहुत लोग, हाँ।
हाँ, एक ने
Actually,
किया तो सब उसके लाइक कॉपी करना है उसको टाइप।
वो कम से कम हिंदू ट्रेडिशन में है कि पांव
हाँ
छूने, बड़े लोगों के पांव
हाँ
छूने चाहिए।
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
बट दे शुड अंडरस्टैंड ना उसके पीछे रीजन क्या है।
क्या
हम्म। प्रभु जी, मैंने ऐसे कहीं पे आप क्लास में कहीं पे सुना था कि प्रभुपाद का के जो मतलब कोई लाइव गुरु है, उनके भी फोटोज को लोग रख करके जो पूजा करते हैं, तो उससे भी ऐसा होता है कि अगर हमने इनिशिएशन लिया, हमारे पाप जो है वो गुरु को ट्रांसफर होते हैं, तो वी हैव टू बी वेरी कॉशियस व्हाइल फॉलोइंग दीज थिंग्स, राइट?
फोटो के लिए तो हाँ, अगर मूर्ति के लिए कहा था किसी ने प्रभात को
हाँ
कि
हाँ।
वो आए थे, आई थिंक वृंदावन से या नवद्वीप से। प्रभात
यस
वाज इन
प्रभु।
बॉम्बे, कि आपकी तो मूर्ति लगा के लोग पूजा कर रहे हैं मंदिरों में, तो आप तो को तो बहुत पाप लेना पड़ेगा सबका।
हम्म।
तो प्रभा से उसी के लिए तो मैं आया हूँ।
हरी बोल।
But then at the same time, we have to be careful now. We are not at Prabhupada's level.
करेक्ट, यस प्रभु जी।
We are not at his level.
प्रभु जी, तो फिर ये जो पॉलिटिशियंस होते हैं, दे फील वेरी प्राउड। जैसे बहुत लोगों ने अपना, दो दे आर, मतलब वो जिंदा है फिर भी वो लोग अपनी अपनी मूर्तियां बनवाते हैं, और लोग उनको ऐसे एकदम भगवान की तरह पूजते हैं, तो इन अ वे तो उनको ये, उनके साथ भी ये चीजें होती होंगी।
Oh yeah, उसमें तो वो है ना फिर, blind leading the blind, and both
हाँ,
will
ये।
fall in the ditch. Both will go to hell.
ओ यस प्रभु जी। थैंक यू
हेलो
वेरी मच
प्रभु
प्रभु।
जी।
हाँ जी
प्रभु जी,
धीरे।
प्रभु जी, वो कश्मीर में सूफीज्म बहुत है, तो वहाँ पे जो स्टोरीज होती हैं, जैसे वहाँ भी बड़े बड़े ऋषि और सूफी सेंट्स आए हैं, तो वो कहते थे कि कई गुरु होते हैं जो अपने शिष्य को, इसको नजर कामिल कहते हैं उर्दू में, नजर कामिल, तो वो उसको एक नजर करते हैं, तो उसके उसमें ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आ जाती है। मान लीजिए जैसे हम स्ट्रगल कर रहे हैं अ, अपनी जर्नी के लिए, तो उसमें अगर गुरु जैसे गुरु का ऐसा होता है क्या कि वो अपने शिष्य को ट्रांसफर करे कुछ, की सो दैट वो अपने ट्रैक पे रहें या उसको एक पाथ पे डाल दें?
सी, वो प्रभुपाद ने एक जगह लिखा है या बोला है कि आई मीन कई मायावादी गुरु ऐसा बोलते हैं कि मैंने तो सारा तेरे को दे दिया, मेरे में जितनी शक्ति थी और मेरे में कुछ नहीं बचा। कहते हैं ऐसे थोड़ी गुरु होता है। गुरु कैन गिव इंस्ट्रक्शंस, ऑफ कोर्स। गुरु चाहे तो और भी बहुत कुछ कर सकता है, बट डजंट मीन कि शिष्य कुछ नहीं करेगा। जैसे जैसे प्रभुपाद ने एक एग्जांपल दिया कि इज गुरु लाइक ए मंकी और ए कैट। अब डिसाइपल्स बड़े हैरान कि ये क्या मतलब। तो मंकी की क्वालिटी क्या होती है, तो मंकी का बच्चा जो है मंकी की पीठ पे बैठा रहता है, और मंकी जो बंदर जो है एक छत से दूसरी छत पे कूदता रहता है और बच्चा गिरता नहीं।
हम्म,
दूसरा कैट के बिल्ली जो है बच्चे को खुद उठाती है और घूमती रहती है, और बच्चा आराम से बैठा रहता है बिल्ली के अपनी मदर के मुंह में। तो इस गुरु लाइक ए मंकी और ए कैट। तो गुरु इज लाइक ए कैट, उन्होंने यही बताया, मंकी नहीं है कि शिष्य जो है खुद पकड़ के बैठा रहे, गुरु ही उसको उठा के ले, पर शिष्य का एटलीस्ट काम है कि कहीं और ना भागे। बट प्रोग्रेस हमारी ये नहीं कि उन्होंने देख लिया और हम बस हम कुछ ना करें और हमारा हो गया, ऐसा तो नहीं।
नहीं,
चैंटिंग और बाकी प्रोसीजर
करता
तो
वो
हमें
तो
फॉलो
है,
करना
बट
पड़ेगा।
जैसे मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, करना तो शिष्य को ही है, लेकिन एटलीस्ट वो जो डिस्ट्रैक्शंस होती है उससे उसको अपनी अपने शिष्य को उस डिस्ट्रैक्शन से बचा के, सो दैट देन करना उसी को है, शिष्य को ही करना है।
गुरु की
क्योंकि मैंने
कृपा
कई
मिलती
स्टोरीज
है,
वहां
यस।
सुनी हैं, तो वो कहते थे कि हमारे गुरु ने ऐसा, मेरे में ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आ गई उसके बाद, ऐसा बताते थे। जो उनके शिष्य होते थे वो ऐसा बताते थे।
ठीक है, थोड़ी काफी कुछ कृपा मिल सकती है, बट उसके बाद करना तो खुद ही को है।
करना तो, दैट आई एग्री विद यू।
क्योंकि कृपा कृपा का मतलब ही है कर और पा।
क्योंकि इशू ये है ना, करना तो सब चाहते हैं, एवरीबडी वांट्स टू डू इट, बट एवरी, यू नो व्हाट आई मीन टू से।
What Prabhupada has explained, what I have understood, more we do, kar or pa, more we do,
करो।
more we'll get His mercy, Guru's mercy, Krishna's mercy to make further progress.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी।
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Yes, Vinay Prabhu, you're going to say something?
नहीं, वही प्रभु जी का याद आ गया बात से धीरे कि जितना पढ़ेंगे उतने एग्जाम में अच्छा क्वालिफाई करेंगे। तो मुझे वही याद आ रहा था प्रभु जी, जितनी पढ़ाई करेंगे, जितना अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, तो एंड ऑफ द ईयर उसका रिजल्ट उतना ही अच्छा होगा। और फ्लंक करेंगे, चीजों को स्किप करेंगे, तो फिर ये अपने ही ऊपर है प्रभु जी, डिस्ट्रैक्शन आता है। अब हम 4 लोगों के, वो मैंने एक बार अपनी बताया था ना कि मम्मी पापा मैं माला करने एक साथ ही बैठते थे और फिर अपने में डिस्कशन शुरू हो जाता था माला के साथ। तो देन वी रियलाइज कि अलग अलग बैठो भैया अपने अपने रूम्स में, और पहले तो माला कंप्लीट करो एंड देन डिस्कशन करते हैं।
Yeah,
तो ऐसे ही है,
तो कृपा
नो
तो
कॉम्प्रोमाइज।
डेफिनेटली मिलेगी, बट हम करेंगे तो मिलती जाएगी, दैट्स ऑल।
हाँ प्रभु जी।
ठीक है, चलो, लेट्स स्टॉप हियर। यू ऑल हैव अ सेफ एंड वंडरफुल डे। हरे कृष्ण, जय श्री राम।
हरे कृष्ण,
जय
जय श्री राम।